I'm Collin Baker, and today we are talking about Nuestra America, or Our America, by Jose Marti. With the unity against imperialism, there is an expansion of the U.S. and European influence upon, or that was brought upon Latin America, and from the from the text, Marti did not like that because he saw it as a threat to all the different cultures and identities that people had, and this brought separation to the people and how they felt towards each other. If they came together as one, there would be a lot less conflict through them all. Marti saw unity as a protection instead of something that would just bring people together. He thought that Latin America would genuinely be a better place if everyone had unity, and because it would cause a conflict with the outside powers instead of internally where they were. I think that unity still would help in today's world, especially in the situation we're in right now in the US, because of how our president is acting upon all of our problems with everyone else. We seem to be very not loved by any other country right now. And I feel as if we had unity inside the US, we could figure that problem out by possibly getting rid of the president we currently have. And I think that would solve a lot of our problems about what's going wrong internally and externally, with because we have conflicts everywhere, whether it's inside the US or outside. But I think that could be fixed with unity, just like it could have been in Latin America. Next, Marti argues about how Latin America should build their governments around what state they are in internally. For example, the people, the architecture, any problems that are happening should be taken into account when building a government. However, this can go for any society, and I think that everyone should have a government, whether that be big or small. But I think that some governments do it the wrong way. They abuse their power and they think that they're better than everyone else, which again will cause internal conflict, which is I think is the whole main part of the story, is the internal conflict and how it's affecting everyone. But back to the governments, I think the governments should be built around the people instead of the people following what the government is saying. I don't think that the people should be divided by race or culture, but instead should be all together as one, even if they do have different beliefs. And I think that will help them come together with the government. But it all starts with the government having to believe in their own people and not pretending that they're a whole other different society than your everyday person. Different things such as combining beliefs and practices with those who don't believe in the same ones could help separate the differences and again have everyone come together. It's all about unison. That's what this whole thing is about. Just unison and basically fighting for what's right, and how everyone should be accepting and loving towards one another, even if you're different on the inside and or outside. Everyone still has a right to individualism and to be treated equally. In Latin America, they had multiple indigenous cultures like the Aztecs and Inca, but as well as the Spanish and Portuguese. And the struggle for all of them to fit in was felt, and that could be due to discrimination or self-doubt. The discrimination part is caused by others, and from that you feel the self-doubt in yourself because of how they made you feel, and you're not able to overcome that problem or feeling, which puts you in a hole that you can't get out of unless there's other people to make you feel better. But even with that, it's still almost impossible because of how harmful those words could have been, or actions. Marti also thinks leaders should understand what the people want and how they function. I know that sounds dumb, but leaders don't understand like the struggles that everyday people do go through, and the leader, whoever it may be, should be put into the shoes of someone and have to live like them to see what it's really like, and that could help implement changes into the society that they all live in to help better the lives of everyone else. This can be compared to Trump because he does pretend to care about the people in the US, but in reality, he actually does what's best for him and what will make him look good on media. I will personally say he does not make the best decisions at all, and this can be compared to the leaders of the past because they only do what's right for them and not what's right for the people. Finally, before I bring a guest in, the last thing is how education has affected Latin America and how that has affected the people's independence. The knowledge you gain from education can help with cultural identity, race. It just makes you more aware of things that are going on around. And not a lot of people got this education in Latin America, which caused the number of independent people to go down. And that could be a problem for the society overall because not everyone is aware of how things are going and how they should behave towards certain situations.
Hello, I'm the guest Skylar Valenzuela, and I have a question for you, Collin. Why did Marti feel like Latin America needed to unite against outside powers like the US and Europe?
He felt that because they were both lingering threats of old world colonialism and the US expansion. This showed the difference between the two Americas and what was going on and the violent effects that it had on Latin America. This caused problems between the Americas and showed Marti that he had to make a change for Latin America, which is why he didn't want to follow what the US expansion was doing. And that is it. Thank you for listening to my podcast about Marti, Nuestra America.